It's India versus Bangladesh in the World Cup. Match number 40 coming your way from Edgbaston, Birmingham, the very ground where England ended India's, of course, winning campaign, or should I say, winning run in the World Cup just a few days back. These two teams still not guaranteed a spot in the semi-finals of the World Cup. India still need that 1 point to seal qualification. Bangladesh, they need to win both their remaining encounters in this World Cup. Promises to be a good one given the history between these two sides as well. Bangladesh of late have really been giving India a run for their money. Thank you so much for joining us on ESPNcricinfo Match Day. We're joined in studio by Ajit, Agarkar. And also joining us from Bangladesh is Shahriar, Nafees. Gentlemen, good to have you with us on the show. First up, of course, Ajit, the big news coming in from the Indian camp. Vijay Shankar ruled out for the rest of the tournament. Mayank Agarwal coming in. Thoughts on the same?
Yeah, tough one for Vijay Shankar. I mean, we didn't know that it was that bad an injury. We saw him carrying drinks the other day, and the injury almost came out of nowhere, really. Yeah. Supposed to have happened a couple of games back, so unfortunate for him. And I know he's copped a bit of criticism, sometimes unfairly, in my opinion. And that's the last thing we want for any player to miss through injury. Curious selection. I don't think many people would have expected Mayank Agarwal, but I think it's a good selection. I feel that's the requirement for India at this point. You would have very well said that a middle order player is going out. Look at another middle order batsman. You can see his numbers as well. Yeah. He's probably one of the most improved Indian players on the domestic circuit over the last 2, 3, 4 years. And the consistency you can see. I mean, the strike rate's 100, but average 40 or 48, I think, for over 48. So he's certainly put up the numbers. We saw how well he did in Test cricket for India, the couple of tests that he played. So that confidence might be there, and I think it'll also just give India another option in case Rahul has. We saw him getting injured the other day on the field, or his form's not there in the next couple of games. Gives India an option. So I think it's a good selection.
Now to, of course, talk all things Bangladesh with Shahriar, Nafees. Shahriar, Bangladesh 2 games remaining and they need to win both of them. How do you suppose they go into this encounter? Attack India from the word go?
You know, it's a very important match for Bangladesh. Bangladesh getting a long break before this match. Bangladesh would like to play a decent cricket in this game. Against India, you have to be very much on toes in every department of the game. Batting, bowling, fielding. India is one of the better side in this World Cup. They have been very consistent, though they have lost the last match against England, but it will not put any effect on India's cricket. Bangladesh need to win this game to stay alive and then go to the Pakistan match. If Bangladesh plays according to plan, and they have been playing in this World Cup, batting, bowling, fielding, Bangladesh will have a very good chance against India. Bangladesh has beaten India in World Cup, has beaten India in other tournaments, so Bangladesh would like to take a lot of confidence out of those wins, and it will be a very, very interesting game, I tell you. Bangladesh will not let India to walk on and take the game away from them. Bangladesh will put up a big fight.
Right, now of course let's talk about the Indian 11. You're making one change to your squad?
Yeah, just for the sake of it, I think. No, I just feel, I mean, it's got Ravindra Jadeja in. I know there are a few left-handers in the Bangladesh team, and again, the boundary could very well play a part. If we saw a really short boundary on one side at Edgbaston, if that is the case, India could very well get in maybe a Bhuvaneshwar Kumar as well, but that then weakens the batting. With Ravindra Jadeja, I don't think it weakens the batting. But if it's a short boundary, I think Kedar Jadhav might still end up playing.
Shahriar, talk Bangladesh's 11. You're also making one change?
No, Bangladesh's 11 has been very consistent. Bangladesh didn't make a lot of changes in their 11. One spot we can talk about is about Mahmudullah Riyad. The last news I know, he is 50-50 fit. He wants to play, but will Bangladesh team management take any chances? I'm not sure about it. If Mahmudullah Riyad doesn't play, I would like to see Sabbir Rahman playing, because Liton Das will bat number 5, and then Sabbir Rahman can play the part of a finisher. So yes, if Mahmudullah Riyad is fit, then I would like to go with the same 11. If he's not fit, then definitely one change.
Now, of course, talking about India's batting, and a lot has been spoken about India's batting in that final 10 overs, because if we show you some numbers right now, India's batting in the final 10 overs is only worse than England and Australia, which means we're doing pretty well in this tournament. 6 innings, our run rate, Ajit, is 8.1, only worse than England and Australia, 9.1 to 8.29, which means, of course, you mentioned him right now, Hardik Pandya, MS Dhoni, though approaches by both the batsmen is extremely different. A lot has been spoken about that approach versus England and how we took it in that final 10 overs. Learnings for you from that game that should be taken forward?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to improve. I think what a lot of people have criticized, and rightly so, it's or at least you couldn't see any intent of trying to hit the big shot. There were lots of singles being taken when there were 13, 14, 15 runs an over required. And at the end of the day, India were five down and lost by 30 odd runs, which is baffling really. I think a lot of people would want to see that a bit more, and not just in the last over. And it's not just MS Dhoni, it was Kedar Jadhav as well. At that point, both of them just ambled around, walked around for some singles. Not to say that they didn't have, they didn't want to play the big shot, but it didn't certainly look like they were attempting to play a big shot. So I'm sure it must have been spoken. And I know Virat Kohli is not going to publicly come and say that yes, we're looking at it. But internally, as long as you see improvement, and again, you want to see effort being made. There was, like I said, at one stage 15 or 16 required. And there wasn't a shot in anger played, which was a little bit surprising. Hopefully they address that, because there is going to be a situation where a Virat Kohli is not going to get runs, or Rohit Sharma not going to get another 100. And there's going to be a lot more work for that middle order to be done. I think Hardik Pandya at the moment, you could see when Hardik Pandya batted, it was a little bit different to when MS and Kedar were batting. So, and not to say that India lost the game because of that, but India can certainly improve in that area.
Shahriar, a word on Bangladesh in the same phase, but this time with the ball. And we'll show you some numbers, because Bangladesh with the ball in the last 10 overs, run rate and economy rather, has been 8.4, a poor 8.4. You suppose that could be the key phase of the game? Indian batsmen versus Bangladeshi bowlers?
Ajit pointed out in a very interesting thing. India's batting has always been top heavy in this World Cup. We have seen the top order doing the job for India. So Bangladesh would like to take wickets with the new ball. If Bangladesh can take early wickets, they're not struggling, but they haven't been at their best in the middle order batting. Yes, throughout the whole tournament, we have spoken a lot about Bangladeshi bowling. Bangladeshi batting has been excellent throughout this World Cup. They have been consistent. Bangladeshi bowling, in the other hand, they haven't at their best. They have 2 more matches. They definitely would like to improve their bowling stats. Bangladeshi bowlers would like to take a lot more responsibilities. And in a 50 overs match, every single over is important. You have to start well. You have to carry on that start in the middle overs, and in the last 10 overs when the field spreads out, you have to bowl, and if you are not taking wickets, you have to cut the run rate down, and if you're taking wickets, the run rate will automatically cut down. So Bangladeshi bowlers Bangladeshi bowlers need to do a lot of improvement in this game, and I believe that the bowling will play a massive part tomorrow's match. If Bangladeshi bowling clicks tomorrow against India, then Bangladesh will be able to compete. Other than that, if you let Indian batsmen away and they put up a huge score, then it will be a difficult match for Bangladesh, because the situation Bangladesh is in that at that moment, that Bangladesh has to win both matches. So you want to keep everything as simple as possible.
Ajit, I'll show you a couple of numbers as far as India's bowling is concerned as well. And of course, pace versus spin, and our pacers have been doing really well. They picked up 35 wickets in the World Cup, and spin, as opposed to that, doing 15 wickets to their name. I'm just pointing at what happened versus England and how they approached both Kuldeep and Yuzi Chahal, and they really attacked them from the word go. You suppose they sort of sent a message out to opposing teams that this is one way, also because you're playing on the same ground.
Yeah, but we saw how short one side of the boundary was, and they did target that. And that's, sort of Virat Kohli couldn't bowl both of them in tandem because of that short boundary. Look, I think they'll be happy if batsmen try and come after them, because there'll be other days where the batsmen are not successful. When you're trying to go after bowling, there is there are teams that will think that's the way to approach them, and that is the right approach. But are you good enough to actually execute that on the day? Because these two are good bowlers. I think we've seen through the competition that they can pick wickets in the middle. To be honest, I saw the whole game and I didn't think they bowled that poorly. England was just good on the day and put them under pressure. Whether Bangladesh can do the same thing for that period of time, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think they'd mind batsmen coming after them, because then that always gives you a chance. Hopefully the boundary is a little bit longer, which then affords them that that little bit of an extra chance. But I think that one game against England was really good on the day, and you've got to give them credit, not try and go after Indian bowlers who've been that good.
Shahriar, final word on the show for you. How do you see this game going? What's the crucial phase for you?
Bangladeshi bowling. India has the best batting lineup in this world, so you have to bowl well. You have to start well. You have to take early wickets, because Indian batting has been all in this tournament top heavy. When Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Shikhar Dhawan scored, India put up a big score. India still trying to figure out their number 4 spot and the middle order batting, and the way their middle order batsmen have been batting. So if you can start well, take early wickets, Bangladesh will have a chance to keep India's total in a decent amount. And Bangladeshi batting has been really good. So if Bangladeshi bowlers can restrict the total, Bangladeshi batsmen will be able to chase those runs easily, I think.
Ajit, how do you see this one going?
Yeah, similar. I think it is. There's no doubt there is a small issue there for sure for India. I think if Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, which fortunately for India it's not happened, fail together, there is a lot more pressure on the other guys at this point. So that's the first thing India would want to avoid, losing early wickets. And if they don't, I think they have enough batsmen, if they have wickets in the shed, to get a total which is, they can defend a total or chase down whatever Bangladesh sets for them. So not losing early wickets will be the key. I don't think there's a big issue about India's bowling in spite of conceding 338. I think there were lots of periods in that game earlier on or in the middle where India looked like picking a wicket. On some days it doesn't happen for you, but it's their batting, I think, where they don't want to lose too many early wickets.
Ajit, Agarkar, Shahriar, Nafees, thank you so much for joining us as we were building up to the big game in the World Cup, India taking on Bangladesh.